Good morning, and I hope you had a fantastic week, and I hope you're going to have a fantastic day. Let me see if I can get a little bit more light on this camera because today I have a I'm like lopsided. Ooh, that's weird, isn't it? Oh, you guys can go ahead and laugh at that. Anyway, today I want to tell you about the times, I get asked so many times. Well, first of all, welcome to Miracles of Mary Ellen on the Ask Mary Ellen channel. Sorry about that little hiccup in the beginning. Anyway, I get asked so many times because I always tell people, they say, well, how did you write these books? And I said, well, I didn't write them. God writes them. I hear all of my truths and all of my books from God. And so I wanted to share with you a couple of stories that happened in my own life. Now, God has spoken to me all my life, and God speaks to all of us all your life. It's just that maybe you don't hear him, or maybe you're not listening. And I'll get into that a little bit more at the end. Anyway, a lot of you might have heard the story about how my first book, Healing Words, Life Lessons to Inspire, came about. God started talking to me, telling me these vignettes that are in this book. Just little vignettes from awareness through to faith, fear, forgiveness, unconditional love. All of these things. And I kept saying, no, go tell them to somebody else. And God goes, why do you think I put you through everything I put you through in your life? And I'm like, you could have told me when I was going through it. But, that's not the way life works. And that's not the way God works. If I had not written these truths in healing words, he would have given them to somebody else. That's true. And yet he wanted them, for some reason, I was blessed to be the messenger of these truths. And every truth of the day I write on social media. The other two books I have, Truth, Taking Responsibility, Unleashes True Healing, and Truth Lives, all did come from what I call my higher power or God. Now, the other story I want to tell you about is a time when God spoke to me. And it was after the crossing over of my mother. She'd, of course, passed on. And for some reason, I'd gone down to the bank either to make a deposit or whatever. I was in the drive-through lane. Now, right in front of our bank across the street is a PetSmart. So I'm sitting there and I'm looking at the PetSmart. And I hear God say, go to PetSmart. I'm like, go to PetSmart? I don't have any pets. I don't want any pets. No, I'm not going to PetSmart. And he keeps telling me, go to PetSmart. Okay. So after I made whatever my business was at the drive-thru, I went over to the PetSmart and pulled in the parking lot. I walked in the store and I was like, okay, God, I'm at PetSmart. What do you want me to do? And he guided me over to the little cages where the animals were. And in those cages, I saw a little tiny cat. She wasn't a kitten. She was about a year old. And I'll show you her picture right now because I pulled it up. Oh, there is baby doll's picture. Yeah, I named her Baby Doll. And I know she looked kind of like a little monkey. I got to get her out of reflecting my light. And I picked her up. I asked the guy to open the cages and I held her. And that's all it took. I looked at him and I said, okay, I'll take her. How much? Now I had to go home and tell my husband, Pete, that I just bought a cat because she was still at PetSmart because I wanted her to do a vet check and all that on her before I brought her home. So I came home and I said, you have to go back to PetSmart with me. And he's like, oh no. And the same thing happened to him. The first time he held her, that's all she wrote. So we ended up bringing Baby Doll home. Now, Baby Doll was about a year old when We got her. And she passed away February 23rd of this year, which is why I took some time for myself. Yes, we had that cat for 19 years. And I remember when I wrote my book, I think it was not Healing Words. It might have been Truth Lives. No, Truth. Taking responsibility unleashes true healing. Because it took me 7 months to write that book. Baby doll would sit on my desk behind me because I had it out, and she'd just stay there. Anytime I had an MS attack and I had to be in bed for a while, she knew to be with me. She gave me so much love and so much compassion and so much empathy. And she taught me love, such unconditional love that I cannot explain. Yes, when I knew baby doll was getting to the age where she was going to have to cross over, I knew that. So I was prepared. Baby doll was a very quiet cat. Yet on the Friday morning, February 23rd, when she crossed over, she woke up and she was just meowing really loud and just all over the place. So I called the vet and I said, give me an appointment, because I knew she was telling me, it's time. Please don't keep me in pain. Because we don't want to keep our loved ones in pain. Anyway, that was the end of that story with baby doll. Yet, God talks to all of us. And when he talks to you, he will give you these messages until you take action upon them. And when God talks to you, he's going to talk to you positively with love and with kindness. So people that say, well, I shot that person, but God told me to. No. The devil might have told you to. The wickedness might have told you to. Your ego mind might have told you to. But God does not work that way. God works through forgiveness and unconditional love. So, and God does, if, like I said, if I had not written these truths down, he would have given them to someone else. It's just like when the Wright brothers invented the airplane. We see people in France and other countries coming up with the same ideas, because God gives these ideas, or your higher power gives these ideas to different people. So he knows somebody will carry it through to be finished. So God talks to you. And do you listen? And by listening, I mean, God talks to you when you're quiet. You can't hear anyone when you're talking to. You can't hear God when your television's playing in the background. Maybe quiet meditative music, but not really loud music. God still talks to me every day, and I talk to him every day. And by talking, do I mean praying? Yes, I do pray every day. Yet talking with God and praying is a little bit different. And when you pray, try to pray for someone else. Yes, I want to be healthy. I want my husband and my daughter to be healthy. So I will ask for that. And I will also ask for healing. There's a lady in our neighborhood that needs healing. And other people that I know of that are going through divorces or really negative things. So when you talk to God, ask him not for yourself. Ask him to assist others. Ask him to send love, unconditional love, to every single person on the planet. Because wouldn't it be great if all of us dropped our judgments and our motives and our expectations and always came from love? I think it would be wonderful. Anyway, that's a couple of examples of how God spoke to me. And please contact me or list here how God speaks to you. And what do you hear? And make sure you listen. Be quiet and listen. Thank you so much. I'll be back next week with Miracles with Mary Ellen. Thanks so much. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.